The Wisconsin women's hockey team is 2 wins away from an 8th national championship and headed to the Frozen Four for a record 16th time. After sweeping the WCHA regular season and postseason championships, the Badgers are the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament and hosted first and second round games this past weekend here at LeBron Arena. On Thursday night, Clarkson beat Boston University 3-1 behind the goaltending of Stevens Point native Holly Gruber. And then Gruber was good again Saturday in the quarterfinal against Wisconsin. She stopped the first 14 shots she faced in the first period. Clarkson led 1-0. Ava Murphy's Canadian Blast tied the game at 1. Then Kelly Gorbatenko with a highlight reel cookie backhand, and the Badgers had a 2-1 lead. Layla Edwards scored on a power play in the third to make it 3-1. Lacey Eden awarded an empty net goal with under a minute to play, and the Badgers won it 4-1 to advance to the Frozen Four this weekend in Minneapolis at Ritter Arena, home of the Minnesota Golden Gophers. And Wisconsin plays Minnesota in the national semifinal Friday night. I'm Brian Posick, and head coach Mark Johnson joins us next on the Badger Hockey Digest.
The Badger Hockey Digest is presented by UW Health.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Awesome!
I like it. I love it.
Right now, lease a new 2024 Tacoma TRD Sport for $359 a month. Or get 1.99% APR for 72 months on a tough new Tundra.
Go from dreaming it to driving it today.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is a hallway. Doesn't evoke much feeling. But to those facing cancer or a complex condition, it feels like relief. Because all the doctors, treatments, and technology you've been fighting to find, they're all right here, under one roof, connected by hallways instead of highways. Welcome to East Park Medical Center. UW Health. Remarkable.
Well, Mark, you've often said that first NCAA tournament game is the toughest, and Clarkson made it tough for you on Saturday night, didn't they?
Yeah, they really did. Their goaltender played really well, and they blocked a lot of shots, and they defended really well. And if you're Clarkson after the first 10 minutes, you're pretty excited, because if you had to lay out a map of how you wanted that first 10 minutes to go, it was exactly that way. We took a penalty with 4 minutes in, and they scored on a power play goal, and they get excited. They defend a little bit stronger, and they made it challenging to get pucks to the net.
Yeah, but you found a way. I tell you, Kelly Gorbatenko's goal was a thing of beauty. That followed that blast by Ava Murphy, too, in the second period.
Yeah, it was a matter of if, we could score a goal, and when Ava scored, you could feel the energy level in the building go up, the excitement on the bench, that I'm standing behind, and it almost relaxed us a little bit. And I thought the second period, we played a lot better in regards to playing aggressive, playing on our toes, trying to create some scoring opportunities, which we did. And as you mentioned, Kelly scored right at the end of the power play, but that was really a big goal. I called it an ESPN highlight type goal,
sure,
because she's able to backhand that puck and get it right under the bars. So it was a lot more enjoyable going into this third period with a 2-1 lead than being behind.
Yeah, and the crowd, actually, if there was a fire marshal here, it was over the limit, but it was a lot of fun for sure. So in between the semifinals and national championship game, the Patty Kazmaier Award will be announced, and the winner we'll find out at about 11:30 Central Time. It'll be broadcast live on the NHL Network. And Mark, your 3 finalists, all 3 Wisconsin Badgers, KK Harvey, Layla Edwards, and Casey O'Brien. Boy, they all have been integral parts to your team this season.
They really have, and each of those 3 individuals deserves to be up there. I mean, they've had remarkable years in different ways, but one of the reasons we're in this position that we are, traveling up to Minneapolis to the Frozen Four, is because of those 3 players. Obviously, we have a team behind them that are equally as important, but they've had remarkable years, and each one of them is deserving of the trophy. The one thing I do know, a Badger's going to win it.
That's good to hear. And the favorite in the locker room, so to speak, is Casey O'Brien. Let's take 2 minutes with OB. So a very broad question, Casey. What motivates you to be the best you can be?
I think growing up with 2 older brothers, that really instilled the competitiveness in me, and so I think through them, through my parents, through the coaches I've had, they've always told me, whatever you decide to do, be the best at it, whether it's cleaning the street or playing hockey. And so I've just tried to, whatever, I've found my passion to be, just to be the best at it, whether it's school, in the classroom, or on the ice. And so, coming here, I think part of that is just pushing myself individually to be the best teammate I can be, the best leader, but also just putting our team in the best position to win.
Yeah. Casey's from Milton, Massachusetts, and one of her early role models, Kendall Coyne, who was a Patty Kazmaier Award winner at Northeastern. Why Kendall?
I was never the biggest kid growing up. I think, my parents were a little worried when everyone else was growing and I wasn't. And I always loved Kendall just for her game being so small, but always one of the best players on the ice, despite that. And then, Martin St. Louis, he also another small player. So those were kind of my 2 idols growing up just because of their size and how they, defied the odds with that.
Yeah, so there's a really good chance that Casey's going to be the Patty Kazmaier Award winner. I'm not sure how much you thought about it, but have you prepared your acceptance speech?
No, I kind of just started working on it this morning. But yeah, me, KK, and Layla are all joking about, doing the same one. We'll just but it's all pretty late. That's not the focus. The focus is on winning. And we're just kind of honored for it to be all 3 of us and be here together.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Besides all the individual awards Casey's garnered on the ice, she's also a WCHA Scholar Athlete. So what are you studying, and when hockey ends, because it will at some point, what do you hope to do?
Yeah, so last year I graduated with a marketing degree, and now I'm in the sports leadership master's program. So that's learning about coaching and being in administrative positions. And so my goal after college is to be a coach. I would love to coach a program like this one day, so we'll see how it works out.
I love getting deals on anything, especially groceries. I love coming to Hy-Vee to get, the lowest price possible.
You want to have lower prices, but you don't really want to sacrifice quality. We want the high quality and the low price.
I haven't had to lose the quality or the freshness with the price drop at all.
I have noticed that with the prices at Hy-Vee being lower, that the quality is still there.
I go to Hy-Vee first because I know the prices are going to be down and the quality will be up there.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
So the Frozen Four made up of 3 WCHA teams and the ECAC champion Cornell. Cornell will take on Ohio State on Friday at 4 o'clock, and then Friday night it's Wisconsin and Minnesota at 7:30. It's hard to beat the Gophers twice in a row, 4 times in a row. You beat them 5 times in a row. Now you get a 6th meeting with them, and they're on their home ice sheet. They've got an advantage there, don't they?
A little bit of a challenge, similar to last weekend up in Duluth, playing them for a trophy, and now obviously the stakes are a little bit higher than it was in Duluth. But teams know each other really well, and again the place is going to be crowded. Whether they have an advantage or not, playing in their home, probably you look at that and say yes, they have a little bit because they're more comfortable. They're in their locker room. I'm sure they're going to have a bunch of fans there, but we travel well. We'll have a bunch of red in there, and it makes out to be a very good game. I mean, no different than, you look back past 20 years, and I can pick 4 or 5 of the same scenarios in the same situation. And the winner gets to move on and play for the national championship Sunday. So we're excited to be up there and looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, the last time you played the Gophers there for the WCHA playoff championship, and that was a doozy, wasn't it?
Oh, it is. It's a lot of fun. I mean, history will probably repeat itself, and these type of games are tight. Some go into overtime, and who's going to make the play at the right time, which goaltender is going to make the save at a key point in the game, and who collectively as a team are going to be relaxed and play up to their potential under these pressure situations.
And you mentioned at the start of the season, this was your goal, to win a national championship. You're 2 wins away, so play free, you like to say, right?
Play free and enjoy the process. So, as we get organized and practice prior to going up to Minneapolis, it's, again, sticking to what we've done all year. The team's been consistent, and so as you look at Friday night's game, as we go on the ice, we should be comfortable, we should be relaxed, and most importantly, we should be confident. That's what you want your players' mindset to be.
All right, the Badgers and the Gophers play Friday night at 7:30 after Ohio State and Cornell. Both those games streamed on ESPN+. The national championship game is Sunday at 3 o'clock. That'll be live on ESPNU. You can also listen to the Badgers at the Frozen Four, 10:70 the game. Paul Brown, the Hall of Famer, with another Hall of Famer in his own mind, Mark Greenhall, on the call. Mark, thanks so much. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Sure, that's head coach Mark Johnson. For Stephanie Olson, Jay Williams, I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Bachelor Hockey Digest.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,